Welcome to the NewsHour. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was grilled during a contentious 3-hour hearing before the Senate Finance Committee today.
Senators pressed Kennedy on his stance toward vaccines, questioning whether his actions have restricted access and undermined trust in long-standing public health data and institutions. The hearing turned combative at times, with Kennedy clashing directly with several lawmakers. The confrontation came just a week after his controversial decision to fire the director of the CDC. Lisa Desjardins leads our coverage now from Capitol Hill.
In a small Senate hearing room,
you are a hazard to the health of the American people.
High-stakes fireworks.
I never said that. You're making it up. You're twisting. Yeah, you are. You are being dishonest right now.
As Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. faced his first hearing since being in the job, and since Kennedy upended the Centers for Disease Control, firing his own choice as director and triggering senior resignations.
What we're going to do is reorganize CDC, but also we've already righted the ship at NIH, at FDA, at CMS. And we are going to end the chronic disease epidemic.
It was perhaps the most combative hearing of Trump's second term so far.
You are sitting as Secretary of Health and Human Services? How can you be that ignorant?
You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me, and sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are.
Kennedy argued he's remaking a broken agency, particularly lashing out at pandemic recommendations.
And the people at CDC who oversaw that process, who put masks on our children, who closed our schools, are the people who will be leaving.
But senators from both parties sharply rejected parts of his premise, saying Kennedy is the one breaking the system, pushing him on his understanding of basic facts.
Would you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID?
I don't know how many died.
You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You don't have any idea how many Americans died from COVID?
I don't think anybody knows that.
Do you think the vaccine did anything to prevent additional deaths?
Again, I would like to see the data and talk about the data.
Kennedy later said it was possible that millions were saved by the vaccine. But mostly he displayed deep skepticism of vaccines, a belief now having direct consequences around the country. Some national drugstores limited or blocked access to COVID shots after new federal guidelines came out. Florida is trying to end vaccine rules for school kids. 3 states are forming their own vaccine pact, and many other states are in limbo. Senators, including Republicans, expressed alarm about the lack of data they see to support Kennedy.
You said you're going to empower the scientists at HHS to do their job. I'd just like to see evidence where you've done that.
I've grown deeply concerned. The public has seen measles outbreaks, leadership in the National Institute of Health questioning the use of mRNA vaccines. If we're going to make America healthy again, we can't allow public health to be undermined.
Kennedy and senators used the same words, but often spoke confusingly different languages.
I'm not anti-vaccine. Saying I'm anti-vaccine is like saying I'm anti-medicine. Well, I'm pro-medicine, but I understand some medicines harm people. Some of them have risks.
GOP Senator Bill Cassidy, himself a doctor and the key vote who confirmed Kennedy, raised a specific example of concern from a friend.
My wife has stage 4 lung cancer. She is one of the people the COVID vaccine actually helps. Thanks to the current mess at HHS, CVS is unable to get her vaccine. I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Democrat Elizabeth Warren pressed on this.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state. It depends on the states.
Another flashpoint, Kennedy's decision to fire the entire board which makes vaccine recommendations, known as ACIP. Kennedy said he made the move to reduce what he calls conflicts of interest.
You replace them with non-experts, vaccine skeptics, and conspiracy theorists. As a result, this critical advisory panel has lost scientific credibility.
What we did is we got rid of the conflicts of interest and we depoliticized it and put great scientists on it from a very diverse group.
Through it all, the secretary remained defiant and insistent.
You are citing data that you won't produce to the public.
You're just
and you are rejecting
You're
science.
making things up to scare people, and it's a lie.
But multiple Democrats said Kennedy is so dangerous, he must resign.
I'm asking the questions for Mr. Kennedy on behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. This hearing is adjourned.
The hearing ended with none of the fire quenched, few questions resolved, and Kennedy returning to the job. At the Capitol for the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.